Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to Ottoman's Life. My name is Ali. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you're keeping well. So, the last part 5, and I have now onto the last floor and the roof to completely finish this modularization challenge of the LEGO Friends Community Center, set number 41748. Yeah, now I remember it off by heart when it's over. So I've had such great fun making this video and making this series with you. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you are with the part of the journey. If you want to check out any other parts where I go through building each one of these floors and converting them into a modular module, please check the links in the description, and you probably see some cards up here now. So I'm really excited to finish the last modular floor, which is the t-shirt printing kind of area, and the roof as well, which has got the greenhouse and the kind of lift to enable members of the LEGO Friends to spray paint and create awesome wall art. So let's crack into it and let's see how it goes. The last floor is an interesting one. It's got this beautiful wall street art mural supplemented by this kind of lift there to help the LEGO Friends to paint it. So that's pretty cool. I really like that. We're going to be doing the roof as well, but let's just take the roof off for a moment and put that to one side. The actual build itself, we're going to have to be a bit smart, because this the width of this is 16 studs, so that won't be able to go on the 10 stud width wise, so it's going to have to go on the front, and then we're going to have to try and figure out what to then put on each of these sides. And if I look at these windows, so you got 2, 4, 6, 8. So we could keep this window on one of the walls. And I think, I might have to look at my spare parts, because I think I may even have this coral pink color. And I remember that because there was the disco bus from the Lego movie. And I remember picking up an extra one of those, and I did break it down because I wanted to utilize those parts for a specific building, and I remember not utilizing this color of those tiles. So I'm hoping, if I can find this color of these pieces, I may be able to try and replicate this window on the other side. Interior wise, I see no reason why we can't fit all of this in. It might be a little bit cramped. I do like this little sewing machine kind of thing, and then hand printing here, this little drawer unit. You can see there's a little pillar there for some material, and some shelves here probably to store the paint, I think. So it's going to be quite interesting. This color here, I might have some spare, I think. It's going to be interesting, but this is my favorite piece, so I think I really want to keep that prominent, so I have no problem having that shown on the, shall we say, the camera-friendly angle. All right, let's get cracking. Let's see what we can do. So I was in luck again. I managed to scrape together some white plates, so we have some nice uniform white plates going up the course of the building, so got lucky there. For the tiling for the interior, I had a bunch of these bright pink 1x2 tile, which kind of goes nicely with the pink theme of this floor. The interiors, I have to admit, out of all the interiors, this was the one that was a bit boring compared to all the other interiors. I mean, apart from this little pretty cool build of this sewing machine with this little gear kind of thing in there, the rest was pretty sparse. I mean, you just got this kind of canvas holder for the t-shirt, a bit of roll in here, and a drawer set. So it was a bit, I have to say, underwhelming from an interior and features perspective, but for this build it was pretty easy then to fit everything inside with a lot of space. So maybe later on I'll put some more furniture in there, maybe a chair or something like this, because but the poor guy designing all this stuff has got nowhere to chill and sit down, and the usual just little jumper plates in there to have a minifigure or mini doll standing around. Now, moving to the exteriors, and to finish up on the interiors, there was this other shelf unit that was attached to the wall. Now, for this wall, I actually just copied the same. There's no difference to it, because this was actually the wall that had the street mural art just attached to it and covering it all up. So there's no change there. The only difference was because it is now 20 studs wide as opposed to 16. I've just added in 4 2 by 1, well, 1 by 2 masonry bricks, because there's quite a few in this set as I've taken some apart. So I think that gives it a nice little side decoration and texture while this is being exposed a little bit, so as opposed to just a plain white brick or something. On top of that, the corners, they were all previously these round bricks. Now, for the fourth corner, I didn't have enough in my collections. I didn't have any actually in my collection of these round 1 by 1 bricks. So instead, I thought, okay, let's even it out, and from my spare parts, I got 1 by 1 bricks, square bricks. So then I messed around with the pattern a little bit to be able to utilize every single one of these round bricks for each of the corners. So in a way, sometimes you got to go like that. So it's not going to be exactly the same. I would like to have all of the round ones. Maybe if I grab some more later on in another, as I build up more spare parts, we can change this. But I think the end effect doesn't look too bad, to be honest. Now, from the design of the windows, we only had one of these windows in the original build, and I really wanted to have another window on this side. I didn't want to just have another brick wall. One, I didn't have enough of these flesh-colored bricks, so I tried my hardest to emulate that same design for one side. Now, I couldn't find in my spare parts the coral pink macaroni tile pieces there, which was a real shame, because I did have everything else, just not these curved tiles. But I did have this bright pink color, which kind of matches now the interior tiles. I also didn't have the 3 of these window frames. I only had this one in bright pink. I didn't I thought that would look quite nice, and then I used some transparent bricks that I had in my collection to kind of add some fanciness to it, so it doesn't look a bit boring or a bit weird by having normal colored bricks in there. And then again, from the columns side of things, just to utilize every single one of these round bricks, and the back walls, I just utilize 1 square brick in there as a pattern. So I think in a way, I think it passes this design. It doesn't look too bad. It does match. It's a shame it's not the same color, but I think it still works quite well. I mean, because it works because they're on opposite ends. If they're exposed side by side, then it will look a little bit weird, but thankfully they are on the on opposite sides, so you can get away with it, and you get that in real life as well. Now, the back wall, very simple, again, to be brick efficient. During this whole build, a lot of spare parts came out, and I had a bunch of these white frames, door frame parts. So rather than for them to go to waste, I thought, well, okay, this is the only wall that I don't have this flesh color, so let's use them all up. And then I managed to have this still tall, I think that's 6, right? 2 by 6 pillar piece in there. So I think that works in quite nice. So let's just slot that in here. And then we have our complete enclosed module. And then we can stick this panel now, this wall art, to exactly the same way as the original. And now you can see the little bit of texture on the side of the masonry bricks of this flesh color, which is really nice. I haven't seen many of this. Is it flesh or is it another shade of pink? I need to check actually, but either way, I haven't seen this color much in many sets. I mean, let me know what other sets this color comes to, because that's actually a nice color to collect and build up some parts for. Okay, so let's go to the most satisfying part, is tiling it up. And I managed to have enough of this color tiles from this set and also from my spare parts just to fill it out. So that was really handy, without, to keep the uniformity of the colors, because I don't know about you, but sometimes I do have that OCD that hey, the colors aren't exactly as all the way or the same all the way around, which is really I don't know if you find it quite annoying. I certainly do. So but it's nice to have all the colors for once, especially when you're doing MOC building. And it's really annoying because you want to finish it and you just don't want to do another order just for a couple of tiles. It doesn't make sense for me. So let's just finish this up. I think this will go in this way. Here we go. And then I didn't have a 3, but I can use a little 1. So that looks kind of pretty. Again, the interiors, the more I look at it, the more sparse I see it, and I don't know if it's that much fun, but at least you can take this out and you can still play with it separately, which I think is what it's all about, playing with these things. So I can't wait for my niece to come over and play with these sets, because she really played with the original. Okay, so now comes the great part of putting this module on top of the latest one, and that's it. That's all the modules complete and just the roof to go. So let's go over to the main building and let's add it all up. Okay, here we go. Let's add in the last module. And oh no, we've got a problem. It's not going on. The slide is in the, well, this display piece is in the way of the slide, and I just realized another, shall we say, schoolboy error. That doesn't make sense, having the slide coming out here. Oh no. Yes, we got a problem. I completely forgot about this slide. I mean, I know it's not, we didn't build stairs and all this kind of stuff, but still having no visible kind of doorway or gap for a minifigure to come out of this building into the slide, that's not right. That doesn't look good at all. Right, but there is one quick fix actually, because I really like this. I don't want to mess around now with the whole building of all this. So let's, the good thing about modulars, we can just swap them around. That's a good idea, I think. There we go. There. That actually still looks pretty decent. Something different now to the original. But this slide now is really making me think, because what's going on top of here now is the roof piece. So let us now figure out. This is good. This is fun. How are we going to fit the roof in? All right, let's get back to the building table and figure that out. Okay, so I think one of the things, a couple of challenges we're going to have now is if I put this onto here, I'm going to have to make sure then, let me put that there, because this slide piece is jutting straight level up to here. So if I have anything coming out from the roof piece, we are going to have a problem. Now where it's coming to there, that's actually too far. We actually need the roof to come to here. So it should be that there, then it'll be an even 20-10 stud size. Okay, so we have to figure that out. And also it does look a bit weird that, you know, you got all this depth here and how someone's supposed to go down the slide. If I'm going to have a slide here, then I got to make it a little bit easy accessible. So maybe I've got to have some kind of hole here. We'll try and figure something out there. It's going to be quite interesting to figure that out. And for the rest of the stuff, this here, obviously we need it longer now because we don't have the wall art on this building. It is actually the building below, but I think that should be quite straightforward to do. We can actually make that longer by connecting. Yeah, we probably could, instead of connecting it to here, we can connect it to this side and maybe actually turn it upside down actually, so we can go lower. So I'm not too worried about that. The channel that we're utilizing, the sliding part here, we're going to have to end it here because it's going to get in the way of the slide. We should be still able to get to the length enough for a minifigure to be able to still spray paint the wall. Okay, and then the rest of the stuff, I think the size of this is going to cause a problem. I can't see us having the whole greenhouse being able to fit on the roof, especially when we've got this build here. The alternative, I could even not have this, but I did really like the original, so if I had to choose, I would keep this, make this smaller, fit it in. I do like the water butt, the tower collecting the water. That's always the wrong way around, because it's nice to be able to fill up the water, the watering can and water the flowers. So let's see. It's going to be a very tight squeeze up here, but let's see if we can keep this, make this smaller, keep the build of the lift to enable the painters, and then create a little hole here for Death Wish slide to be used. And it really is top floor. Okay, let's get cracking. Let's see how we can do this. So my luck ran out. I could not find any more white plates for the roof. So I had to resort to these purple and lilac plates. Not the best, not ideal, but I'm sure I can change that anytime. That's not a problem. More importantly, let's get this built up. But I did find some yellow plates that I had, and I think that will add the same color to the game room hot tub module. So I think then we'll see some kind of color coordination. Let's see how the finished product looks in any case. So to begin with, just to let you know, I mean, I used the triangle wedge plates that were a part of these ones in the set. So they were put onto here, and there's about 4 of them that I got. So that was one way that I utilized those plates, and they came in handy because I decided to go with the 21 stud length instead of 20 and have this resting on top of the awning of the yellow game room. So I think let's just go with that. It gives me 1 stud extra real estate to play around with, so why not? So this grey piece is part of the build for the lift feature, where this mechanism kind of rests and slides along. So I decided to keep that as and where it is because I think it still fits in quite nicely. The water tower will go here on the side, similar to where it was on the original roof. But the greenhouse had to be shrunk down to this size, so I can only really put in these stalks, or the, what do you call it, the kind of soil bed with the other little vegetables in there. So that's what we're going to end up with. It's okay, it still gives the impression of it. However, you're not going to have the same kind of fitting of a little bit of a roof on there. So instead, we're going to go with just an open roof instead. I'm sure there's a way that I can probably do that a bit better. But for now, I can only do with what I have at the moment. I might come up with a better way of doing that. But instead, I'm going to put a little doorway here. So at least then it's easier to access, and I can utilize one of the spare white frames that came with the set as well. Unfortunately, I've only got one of these pillars that was in the set. I don't have any of my spare parts. I would like to have another one just to slot in there, as that will look pretty cool and complete. But for now, it's not the end of the world if we keep it to here. These corner pieces, I had one in my spare parts collection. We're only utilizing 2 for this roof. We're not having one on this side, so it came with 3. I found an extra one. I'm utilizing 2 for the main roof, so we'll slot those in here and then just connect it up like this. So I probably will work on a little roof panel here to kind of slot it in here, but for now it does its job in terms of having a little bit of a greenhouse at the top. From a texture perspective, so we had to be really imaginative here a little bit. So I'm still utilizing the original texture from the old roof and the old kind of design. I've spread it out a little bit. These decorative pieces now won't fit like the original right here, because it does jut out a little bit more, so I can't really do that. And I can't really fit this here either, so I'm going to put one on this side and the same on this side, just to have some kind of symmetry and utilize the parts up. But if I finish putting on some of the other the water tower here and this little watering can, I still like that idea. Watering can, take the water from there and water the plants in the greenhouse. So as you've seen here, as I mentioned, I've got this exact replica over here. I had none of these decorative pieces to put onto this side. I'm not too concerned because I think this is going to overhang the hot tub, so the awning is going to be underneath here, so I don't think it's going to be that visible in any case. So I think we can get away by having a plain brick there without any textures. So if we slot that, now you notice I've stopped it here because what I want to try and do, and you'll see I've put in a modified plate here because this is now the entrance for the slide. So I had to create a little bit of a gap to allow a minifigure to after he's watered the plants just to dive straight down the slide into the bottom, the below building. So again, I created this, I added these little snot bricks here with a bit of texture just to fill it out rather than keeping it blank. It's just something, every little bit can add a little bit of detail, I suppose. So and I follow the kind of similar design to what it was in the original, because this then forms the railing then for the lift complete. But if I finish this side off here, we probably need to put in I think one of these parts. Let's put this onto here and keep this over here like this, and then we put in this little car vendor piece, which is always really nice to have as roof design, huh? I think that becomes always nice as a decorative feature, and it's always used in windows as well. So I might have to get a bunch of these in my spare parts collection in different colors. They come really nice for decorative features, not only for roofs but windows. So I might have to look into that when I do next Bricklink order, see if I can get a bunch of them. You never know when you can use them. So to finish this off, to put in the rest of the railing, again, it's very much the same build, so I didn't really mess around with this too much. If we slot this first into this here, and then that fits into there, so then there, that flies in and moves. Well, he says quite smooth. Maybe those tiles aren't down properly, but there we go. So that will be the mechanism. Now for the actual lift itself, as we need to go a little bit lower, because originally it was I think it was connected like this onto this connection, but I'm actually going to turn it around and then put it on the back ones, because then that will give us the extra length to go down, because remember, we don't want to go to here, we need to go even lower. So I think that then adds the greater length. So it's pretty cool. I can still utilize this original part without too much modifications. Right, here we go. The Death Wish building. Should really stop calling it that. Okay, so if we put this over here so it just gets out of the way for a bit, and then we slot this in on top. Maybe that brick needs to, maybe we put this on a little bit better, I think. There we go. Maybe I need to put a reinforcing one in there, but for now it's okay. So let's put this here, and I think then we have it. So that doesn't look too bad. So we've still got a nice gap for a minifigure to come in here, so that works okay. Let's bring this back out now. That moves in quite nicely. If we go here, yeah, so as I mentioned, I didn't have that much of a textured piece going on there, but this isn't on properly, so let me, there we go, that's better. There we go. And that goes into, let's slot that into place here. Is that in? I'm not sure if it's in. Is this working or not? You know what? It's these stud pieces. Maybe I need to swap this one around. Let me take this one off, because for some reason it doesn't seem to fit in as nice. You see, mock building is all about bit trial and error, as I don't always I put this on here, sorry. We can put this one here, so maybe that one will work a bit better. No, okay, let's try. Does that fit in a bit easier? There, does that fit in easy? Maybe it's the back that's causing the problem, not the side. Let's have a look. There we go. It's slotted in. It just needed to push at the back. If I have some jumper plates, that might be a bit easier to do. But anyway, let's get back. So the back I'm not too concerned about. This looks okay. Doesn't look too bad. Bit of decorative feature there. I know that your symmetry guys will not like it, but let's see. And then on this side, okay, that still looks okay. I'm not sure. You know, the yellow and the pink aren't exactly complementary colors, and then with this purple. But if I had my way, I would probably have this all white. I don't have the parts for it, but maybe in a future mod enhancement, I will change this all to white and keep it classic white style. And then same for here as well. But I think it fits in quite snugly. All right, now I guess this is take 2 to finally finish and put this on the top. And now let's see how the entire community center looks. Okay guys, moment of truth. Let's see how it all looks together. So there we go, slot this in. Hopefully this will fit in, because we know it does, because we did it before. Here we go. I think that looks okay. Let's put a bit of background light in there actually, just to make it a little bit fancy. There we go. Professional YouTuber, hey? Okie doke. So, I think that looks okay. Let's give it a little swirl and then we'll do a little close-up. So all in all, I think even though we had to make a last-minute change, the order of the floors, it still doesn't look odd or weird. In fact, it looks far better now that having the infinity pool or some fun slide at the top, because it makes more sense, hey? Having a slide at the top of a shall we say, skyscraper tower. It's not entirely a skyscraper, but it's a very tall building, taller than a majority of the buildings in here. So far, I think I'm really happy with it. Let me know what you guys think. I think we should try and place this in the city. Should we do that now? I think I've got a space for it that we can at least check how it looks like in the city. Let's go and do that now. So there's only really one place this was going to go, and that was in the downtown area, where all the other tall buildings are, to give that kind of tall tower skyscraper section of the city. So I've placed it against my big ugly white skyscraper, and you know something, it looks okay against it. I think it doesn't look too bad at all. Wow, what a pop of color it adds to the city. Oof. I think, you know, that's what I love about Lego Friends. It adds such beautiful, vibrant colors to a city. Very similar to how my Lego Friends Street provides in this city. But now if I look at it from a distance and see the layers, look at the dull grey Daily Bugle office, and then the beautiful vibrant colors of the Friends Community Tower. So I really am liking this. So if I swing it over to here, I think I've placed my Pac-Man building next to it. So something's interesting. You can see actually the pool does overhang the length of the base plate. So that's going to be very interesting to try and figure out buildings next to it. Because if I increase the height of this building behind it, next to it, we're going to have a problem. Okay, not the end of the world. It's fun to know that that's there. It just makes me need to be a bit more creative with what I'm placing there. I think, to be honest, will I keep the white skyscraper next to it? Probably not. And the reason I say that is up on my kind of storage area, I have this building here, which I've kept here and not in the city because I want to redesign it. And I think this building is going to be a perfect redesign to place against right next to, on the right hand side of the community tower, because I think that will, if I try and emulate the same width and length and kind of similar kind of architectural designs, I think then we're going to see a really cool hipster area of the city, which is exactly what I wanted downtown in this area of the city. So guys, let me know what you think of it. I'm really happy with it. I think it looks great. some challenging stuff. It was such great fun building this end to end and sharing this entire journey with you. I really hope it helped. If you're thinking about doing a project like this and you enjoyed watching me actually building it with you, I had great fun talking, building, and I think it's so satisfying to watch these buildings going on, and the techniques that the Lego Friends team and the designers have done with these really simple but such great great builds. I really believe some of the techniques these guys use are, you know, can be better than some of the official modulars sometimes. I think they're a bunch of innovators on the Lego Friends side. But anyway, that's just my opinion, my thoughts. Let me know in the comments your thoughts, your opinion, and what you guys been up to and building. Really interested to know. So until next time, take care of yourself. Peace and love.